Hello, it's quite nice meeting you all again. Today, let's step into the third chapter of the first block, Flights of Freedom. This is a story by Ashapurna Devi. We all love listening to stories, and let's see how this story is related with women and her emancipation. Emancipation means freedom, since this block deals with flights of freedom. Ashapurna Devi is a prominent Bengali novelist and poet, widely honored with a number of prizes and awards. The short story Matchbox is translated from Bengali by the translator and writer Prasenjit Gupta. Let's go paragraph by paragraph. Matchbox by Ashapurna Devi. I always compare women to matchboxes. Why? Because of the way matchboxes are. Even though they have enough gunpowders to set 100 lankas aflame. They sit around meek and innocent, in the kitchen, in the pantry, in the bedroom, here, there, anywhere. Women too are exactly the same. A matchbox is a box designed to hold matches. It usually has a square striking surface on one edge for lighting the matches contained inside. Who is compared to matchboxes? Women are compared to matchboxes. Where do you keep the matchbox in your home? We know it has a capacity to catch fire. Yet we keep the matchboxes in open places like on the table or in the cupboard or on the shelf. Where do you find women in the house? We find them in the kitchen, seated in the kitchen, in the pantry. Pantry is a place adjacent to the kitchen where you store things, or in the bedroom. The story begins with a metaphorical comparison of matchbox with women. Like a matchbox, women has enough gunpowder to set 100 lankas into fire. This is an allusion to the story of Ramayana, where to procure or to rescue Sita, they set Lanka into fire. Can you suggest various other stories related with women? Yes. The pledge of Panchali, leading to the war of Mahabharata, the curse of Kannagi, burning the entire city of Mathura, likewise the Greek warriors fighting the Trojan war for Helen. So all this mythology or the stories narrate or make us aware that women have high potential. Yet they sit meek and innocent in kitchen, in the pantry, in the bedroom, etc. Listen to the audio clip and let me know what is the role of women in a patriarchal society. This most celebrated song voices the need of a pleasant woman to enlighten men. Women are supposed to sacrifice their emotions and be tolerant, and hence subjugated to male chauvinism. Chauvinism means dominance, male dominance or supremacy. Now, the next paragraph. You want an example? Then look carefully at the enormous 3-story house in front of us. Sunday morning, the washerman has come and is waiting. After equating women with matchboxes, the narrator is presenting the story in a pretty unconventional way. Unconventional means not in a usual way. She begins as if she is giving us an example. She succeeds taking us into her location where the story takes place by asking us to look at the 3-story building. Here, she paints a picture in our mind on enormous 3-story building where a joint family resides. On the outset, we can understand that the 3-storied house is completely brimmed or filled with responsibilities. The story takes place on a Sunday morning. You can find all the women at home are busy throughout the day preparing and serving meal, and most of the men have leisure time on Sundays. This is a typical picture of many of the households in our country. Moving on to the next paragraph. Moments before handing over a heap of Ajit's dirty clothes to the washerman, Nomita goes through the pockets one last time and discovers the letter. A twisted, crumpled envelope with its mouth torn, and on the envelope Nomita's name. We come across three characters here in this short paragraph. One is Ajit, the other the washerman, and Nomita being the third, the central character of the story. The plot of the story begins here. Nomita seems to be disheartened to discover a twisted, crumpled envelope addressed to her, already opened, while she is going through the pockets of her husband Ajit's dress before handing the dress to the washerman. Now look at the next paragraph. A flame goes top in all Nomita's nerves and veins. She drops the clothes in her hand and sits on the bed to open the letter. The first thing she looks at is the date. Going by the date, the letter must have come about 3 days earlier. She turns over the envelope and matches the postmark to the date. The two bears the same witness. Yes, the letter came 3 days ago. Ajit has opened it and read it, then crumpled it and twisted it and dropped it into his pocket and left it there. Hasn't felt the need to mention it even once to Nomita. The flame that had gone up top now burns steadily, hissing, sounding its note on each of her mind's string. A flame goes up top. Here top has several meanings, though in this paragraph it is related to the sound effect of the flame. A flame goes up top. And here it refers to the anger and fury which burns Nomita's mind. As a result, she drops everything and checks the date to ensure when the letter might have reached. The only way to check the date is to match the date on the letter and postmark stamped on the envelope. And she confirms the letter had come 3 days earlier. The anger now becomes strong. She is burning, hot inside. The phrase hissing, sounding its note on each of her mind's string refers to this. Now, moving on to the next paragraph. Because this incident is not a casual oversight, it's deliberate. Ajit's nature is exactly that. Somehow, he has gained possession of the key to the letterbox, fishing it through the gaps among the 52 hands of this joint family. And whenever there's a letter with Nomita's name on the envelope, he opens and reads it first. And only then does he give it to her. It's possible that oftentimes he doesn't give it to her at all. At least that's the suspicion that has taken deep root in Nomita's mind. Even though to this day, Ajit cannot truthfully make this claim that he has been able to discover any letter in the slightest degree of suspicion. Still, this ugly habit of his won't go. She's sure that this incident is not a mistake, but a deliberate one. What makes her think so? It is because this is not the first time. Several times earlier, he had tried to find a gap among the 26 members to take the letter, to open it, and often not even trying to mention it to her. The phrase fishing it through gaps refers to the tricky way in which you catch the fish. Likewise, here Ajit carefully tries to gain the possession of the letter. The 52 hands refers to the 26 members residing in the house. We find the term suspicion and suspicious used for both Nomita and Ajit. In the last line of the first paragraph, suspicion deep-rooted in Nomita's mind. And also you can find the term in the last line of the second paragraph, slightest degree of suspicious in Ajit. What is a suspicion that goes in Nomita's mind, and how is the term suspicious related with Ajit? Nomita suspects that her husband deliberately never mentioned about the letters. And Ajit has made the habit of reading Nomita's letter. Until today, he never found anything suspicious in it. Nomita calls this as an ugly habit. So now the next paragraph. Not with Nomita's anger, not with her taking offense, not with bitter reproaches, her trying to shame him. Sarcasm, not with anything. If she mentions it, first he tries to laugh it away. And if laughter doesn't get him out of the deep water, he scolds her. Now children, when you don't like somebody's habit, before taking very serious or hard decisions in your life, we have to correct them. Did Nomita take any such steps? Yes. She seeks various methods to correct him. She tries to be angry. She passes bitter reproaches. Reproaches meaning criticizing someone or making someone feel shameful. Through sarcasm. Again, sarcasm means mocking or teasing or conveying contempt or disgrace, making them feel inferior. How did Ajit react to these methods or comments? He tries to laugh it away. Laugh it away means trying to dismiss as something unimportant. And if laughter doesn't get them out of the deep water here refers to the difficult or dangerous situation. So when he's not able to make the scene less important, he starts scolding her, expressing his dominance. Hence now she is seated in the bed, confused. She doesn't know how to react, and so she reads the letter through. We find Nomita addressing the issue as an ugly habit. Why does she call this as an ugly habit? I remember conducting a debate in one of my classes. The topic was restriction needed to protect women. It was an open forum. Most of them spoke for the topic. They said or pointed out the atrocities committed against women. They even cited the series of rape cases and suggested that strict restriction was necessary for the case of protecting a woman. On the other hand, people who were against the topic also pointed out that the adversities of women and how stringent laws must be passed on. Now my question is the stringent laws necessary? Is restrictions necessary? Can't we change ourselves? Why don't we think differently? Why don't we change our mindset? How a men enjoy, let women enjoy too. We shouldn't be brutal. We shouldn't sneak into personal privacy. Let's let them a private space. We all want to be dignified. We all have self-respect. That's why reading the letters of others is like sneaking into the privacy. And hence Nomita calls it a bad habit. It is a shame that even in this 21st century neoliberal society, we still have to talk about women empowerment and gender equality. But on a positive note, our generation is addressing this issue in an urgent manner more than ever. But are we doing enough to effectively wipe out male chauvinism and patriarchy from our society? The fact is, our society has been built and running on a system where men are more privileged than women for centuries. What we have to do is make sure women get their fair share in this system. The system can be political or any other influential fields. In short, we need more women leaders, bureaucrats, or in any other key roles of our society. Here, in this story, Nomita suffers inequality, male domination, and discrimination. So, emancipation of women from this dominant clutches should start right from our family. So in the upcoming session, let's see what happens, how Nomita acts and how Ajit reacts. Thank you for the time being. Stay home, stay safe.